Hey, what's up, people? Cut it, cut it. What's up, baby? We back with another episode of Raw Brilliance, man.
And what's going on, everybody?
Shoot, you know what I mean, chilling, blessed as always. That right there was Burner Boy. You know, it was right to start it off with that feel right there, that vibe for the topic that we're gonna be getting into today. But today, as you can see, we got a special guest on the line. My boy, longtime friend of mine, engineer. His name is Ibhade, and I'd like to have everybody welcome him to the podcast. A round of applause, please, if we can, people.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
You can cue it up. But yeah, what's going on, my brother?
Bro, we legit over here. Everybody, come on, give us some more love. Give us some more love.
There we go. There it is. What's up? There it
I appreciate that, bros. I appreciate that.
What's going on with you, my brother? What's going on with you about it?
I'm good, man. Yeah, you know, chilling out here in Louisiana, you know, trying to make
Louisiana, they're born in dirty South now, man. The extra dirty South. Boy, yeah.
Hey, I see you over there got the appeal for the ladies. You got the bed in the background, like, hey, girls.
I mean, all set.
Empty for y'all. Just
you got it, bro.
Let them know, bro. I see what you doing, baby. That's
You ain't slick, my boy. You ain't slick on me.
I love it.
You know, we Africans, we don't play, bro. So
but today, everybody, I'd like to welcome y'all back to another episode of Raw Brilliance, man. I'm Master J. My partner over here is Mr.
You already know what it is. Ronnie Marcel coming up. I come in peace. I got a brand new light hitting me. You know, I gotta make sure
he's shining today. He dressed right. You got the tee on. He like your boy.
Hey, I'm gonna let y'all know for real though. I've been doing this moisturizer and cleaning up my skin and shit. I got my hair did like the last week, so it's kind of nappy. But the beard coming in game, because you know I got that beard game.
So man, this shit trash, bro. I've been trying to go like this for a minute.
Bro, I'm over here embodying black excellence. That's what I'm doing right now. And this shirt, I ain't gonna lie, I've been working out a little bit, so this shirt kind of getting tight.
I feel you, bro.
Respect.
Y'all ain't ready for this shit. I'm like, next summer is on and popping. When this COVID shit is done, I'm out here, son. I'm out here. Shirt and no shirt.
2021 is on, huh?
Hell yeah.
Well, fuck it then. Let's get it. What's up, people, man? But it's been another good week, man. And we got some dope topics for y'all today. We've been going into, you know, what's been going around here, but then we're going across the pond as well and talk about some things that's been going over there, some shaking and moving that's been happening. So we brought my brother Body on so he could help us break down some of the topics later on that we have with his expertise and everything. But I'm going to pass it over to my partner, Ronnie, and let's jump right into it, my boy.
No problem. Hey, first off, I just kind of want to get a general, just talk to my brothers. My boys, my brothers right here. Did y'all go ahead and get the P5? Did y'all already go ahead put in that pre-order for the P5? The PS5?
I don't really be on games like that, though, my boy. I be out here working and grinding. I got to get this money, man. I got to get to it.
Hey, I respect that. I ain't got nothing wrong with it, but dead serious. I saw the PS5 when they said they dropped the dates and they put the pre-orders. I try to go ahead. I was over here debating because I'm like, yo, if I get that, I want to get a new TV and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, fuck around, they shit sold out of the pre-orders. So I'm like,
of course, it's a PS5, my dude. Like every homeboy I got been talking about that shit, man. I just don't be on games like that, but all my boys be on that shit hard, man.
It's some new shit that coming out. That's the only reason why I was kind of interested. And then it's going to be pushing out for
it. Though.
It really do. That's why I said, like, when I get my little setup, when I get my little man cave, my Thunderdome setup, it's going to be on and popping. All right. I already set up, so don't worry about it. Just wait on it.
Hey, all right. But on like some real shit though, I was talking about making money, but it's a lot of people out here getting money off this shit now though, man. Like,
like bro, like just
real NBA contracts.
Yeah, just pretty much people are going to the e-gaming. So that's one of the things I'm like, I ain't that good enough for it because like everybody be like, yo, meet me on the court. Like,
Yeah.
man, this is the one sport a fat nigga could go ahead and feel real athletic and shit. Because the fact that I could go ahead, dribble left and right, cross motherfuckers' ankles and all that shit. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm just as sorry on the court as in the video games.
And
so
that's sad
I
right
know
there,
what
Mo, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I got a little sad when you said that shit right there, bro. Even the playing field is up, man. Goddamn.
Yeah, but people be training though. People actually be training for them video games. So
Training
don't feel
hard.
bad, man. That stuff is real.
That's a fact, man. But yeah,
and then one of the things is like it's just been crazy on social media, and that's one thing that I kind of want to talk about. That is like going to the social media screen because pretty much social media has kind of been like one of those things that just kind of open up the spectrum. Like honestly, it's one of those things where I feel like it's an avenue of a blurred line where you could be professional, you could be on one end, you could be personal, you could be yourself, you could be pretty much your individual self. Then at the same time, on the flip side, it could be a business because at the same time, you got to just think about how you act upon it. So, just pretty much join the discussion poll here, just kind of get an idea of everybody, just talking to my brothers. How do y'all conduct yourselves on social media? Because, me, I'm the type of person, I do, like, it's like, it's rarely questionable because, me working in a corporate environment, I have to be mindful of what I say because pretty much depending on what I say could get me fired. But at the same time, I feel like, hey, this is my shit. I could go ahead and say whatever I want to say. So, I mean, just kind of getting y'all spectrum. Like, hey, I know y'all artists. I know y'all entrepreneurs. How y'all feel about the whole set?
Ibhade?
Okay. Yeah, so for me, the way I looked at social media was kind of like you look at it like an outlet, but the way people use it is no more just an outlet. It's a way to kind of fill themselves, right? Fill some void within themselves. So, for example, I recently watched a documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma, where they're talking about how these social media companies and how they're basically using your life to market you. You're not the user, you are the product. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that. So I'm very careful with what I put recently because I started noticing how they tag you, right? So if you go on Instagram now, in the past, remember, you just scroll, right? Whatever is new, 5 minutes ago, somebody posted 7, 10 minutes. Now you scroll, you see a certain amount of people that 5 hours ago, but they were not the recent ones. So you're realizing they know what you're looking at. They know the pages. So all that be going on these honeys, all these girls on their social media, they be putting it up for you because they know that's what they want. And then they put an advert right there, trying to get you. So,
yeah, facts.
Be more careful,
Yeah. Well,
what's kind of messed up is like you over here telling us about that. I'm like, yo, that's low key my job. I do so I'm low key. I'm like, yeah, I'm the person that on the back end exploiting y'all. So but man, so go ahead and talk to them. Talk to me, bro.
Well, since you are the feds, I don't know how much I want to say exactly, bro. But yeah, me, I work for myself. I have my own, like shit or whatever. So as far as like social media and stuff like that, I really don't care to. I say what I feel, so I don't have to like track back or bag it up or later, because that's just how I feel about certain topics and certain things. Like I speak to, of course, I want to be educated with it, and be as respectful as possible. But but as far as me personally, my personality, I just never trying to offend anybody in the first place. Like I'm cool with everybody, with all demographics, with like all sexualities, all that shit. I really don't care what you do in your spare time. So I'm not out here trying to weigh in on your life. So everything I spit is usually, or like tweet or post is usually about if I'm working on a project or something, a podcast or something that I'm filming, a video or whatnot, or it's just like for Instagram, but on Twitter, like I'm mostly talking about sports and shit because I love sports, or like hip hop and shit like that. I'm going on debates and I'm seeing what's going on around. I use social media for news now. I don't really like to watch CNN and shit no more and all that because either side you own is biased. So I use social media and stuff to get my news and stuff like that, just to see what's happening because it's so current. And I don't really go on Facebook at all. I just don't. It's too much like fake stuff and drama and stuff on Facebook. But I do post business-related things on Facebook. But as far as me commenting and being on there every day, I really don't deal with it. So I try and keep it respectful, but I'm also going to speak my mind. And I can cuss and do all that stuff because ain't no, even if you are the feds and monitoring me, I really don't care because I stand on my word. You feel me? So I'm not really tripping.
It's not the fact that we're the feds. We over here
nah,
just
y'all the feds, bro.
we're exploiting.
Y'all the feds.
This is pretty much, hey, I want to sell something from you, and based off of your activities and everything that you're doing online, I have an algorithm that's pretty, I'm selling you products to the point where I want to go ahead and sell that. So that's pretty much where I come in, and I do it on
the reason I don't put no locations on social. You the reason I don't put no locations on social media. I don't want the feds knowing where.
Here's the thing. I'm not. Well, here's the thing. What my job is, I'm not doing it to like actually business to consumer. I'm doing it business to business. So I'm actually getting decision makers. So I was like, yeah, I'm exploiting people, but people who actually got a lot of money. But that's another story.
Damn, everyone take my breath. That boy just attacked my tax bracket over here, bro.
I gotta make sure I hit a certain quota before, I gotta hit my numbers. But no,
that shit hurt. That shit cut deep.
It's one of those things that it's weird because like, here's the thing, like what you said, you go in for news, you get your sports talking, you can go ahead and cuss, and then you pretty much how you said that, they track us. It's all. Well, here's the thing. I'm more so talking more about what we can control, what we have as individuals. And here's the thing, because like, how you said we could go ahead and make a comment, do this, do that, join the social spectrum. But, there are people who, and I say sometimes it's like our cousins or our family or all that stuff who could be extra. Who could be, just the people that are just doing the most.
That's why I'm on Facebook.
Bro, that's
family,
it's entertaining at one point in, but at the same time, it's just like, bro, right now, and especially in this era, we trying to come forth, and we don't want people to go ahead and do the things that set us back. But at the same time, we do want to, be mindful of being individuals. Yeah. So it's just like sometimes it's like I kind of get to the point where I'm like, man, on social media, sometimes I be wanting to be telling people like, yo, take this shit down. Like when you over here going at your baby moms, baby dads, or you put all your family business out there, I be wanting to go ahead.
Bro, but that's the times we live in though. Like that, the kids growing up see, and even older people who don't really understand social media, like jobs actually checking they want your social media password and shit to actually check and see. It was a bunch of jobs straight out of college that were like, what's your social media and shit like that, because they want to go in and check that shit. Mm-hmm. And they can do that now, and that's wild. So, of course, if you're going into a certain profession or you know what you want to do, but if you're just a young kid out here just being a kid and don't really know what you want to do with your life, don't really care at this point because you a kid, you're going to do and say stupid shit and just – in 5-10 years, you might look back. Like we were lucky enough when social media hit a boom, we were already of age to where we could kind of navigate it and guide it. But kids coming up, they, just in it. So to them, that's everything. You feel me? Even girls, like if you ain't in a relationship on social media, it don't really matter to them. Like they don't care when it's the real life shit that actually matter. You feel me? I used to get into it with my girl about that all the time. But it's a real deal now. Like social media is like kind of blended into real life. Like that AI shit is becoming real. Like, you feel me? So the way I see it is, we could talk about trying. In college, I took a whole class on social media, on like how to manage social media, how to promote, how to like do all types of shit, what it's supposed to be used for or whatever. And that was just, like, it was an actual whole class, bro. Like, I went through a whole semester of doing posts, have to turn in my posts and seeing followers that I got and campaigns that I was running. I had to go around campus and take pictures of different things and post it and do all of this type of stuff. So it's a real deal now. So I don't know. I just feel like you just need to be responsible. Try to be, as far as like that drama shit. Some people are just gonna be who they are, and they just don't care or really have that type of ambition to see that this gonna affect me in 5 to 10 years. You feel me? At this point in their life, other things are just bigger than what they're seeing 5, 10 years down the road. Now you might get backlash then, but right now I got to get these tweets off. I got to get this post on Facebook happening because it's my baby mama or whatever is tripping. I'm gonna post this video doing this or that. You feel me? And so I don't know. It's just it goes by individual stance. Me, as far as my profession, I can be more free. Of course, I still gotta watch what I say. I can't be out here wilding, but that's not my personality to begin with. So I wouldn't be doing that. I'm low key all the way. I barely go on social media unless it's to post shit or Twitter with I'm following like new shit that's happening on sports, or I'm hitting up friends and shit. For Facebook and Instagram, I only post on Instagram like videos and shit, like from the podcast or other things like that. I don't like taking selfies and shit, so I'm a little different than most people in today's time. So, yeah.
Yeah, for like social, the way I think about it, like what you said about children growing up in the social media age, there's like a new generation now, right? Like we are millennials, so we kind of were in high school when they first came out, and then we entered college when they were growing, right? A lot of kids right now, they're getting phones at 10, 9, right? So think about that. When you were a kid, did you understand like what you didn't understand how life was, right? You were just trying to chill, have fun, and now you have basically the whole world at your fingertips. This is a lot of I don't think a lot of people want the social media companies to be responsible. I think it's on you as a parent and you to kind of like help your children understand what's going on and how to use so they don't mess up their life in the future. I do think social media is a very important thing right now. I mean, I get news faster than watching. I don't watch, obviously we don't watch Fox News. I'm just going, but like Fox News, CNN, all that. Yeah. But like you get all that from Twitter. Like people get stuff. You get good like information that way. The problem is the filtering of fake news with real news, right? It's very hard to filter. So that's why I tell people, whenever you see something, don't react. Wait, then respond, right?
Exactly.
Because you don't know what's real. A lot of fake news out, and even if it's real, you gotta understand how you want to respond. It's kind of like doing a PR move. You know, like all these football players, they're like, they don't say nothing. They're like, wait, and then all of a sudden, 2 days later, they release a press release. It's a good thing to bring to your life. You know, you gotta think about what you want to understand about the situation before you talk on social media.
Yeah, like now because of social media, it made me sit back because in the beginning I used to get caught up in what was happening. As soon as something was tweeted, I'll respond to it. And I had to realize like you gotta let that shit play out because all the facts might not be factual or is more nuanced to the situation. And so I had to like now when something comes out, I read it and I see it, but I'm waiting like 3-4 hours to see what else comes out after that about it, or I'm going to go look into it on like other news outlets and stuff to see what's really going on if the stories match up and stuff, and then I'll tweet or respond to it or whatnot. Unless it's like a live event, like if it's like a NBA game or NFL or some type of award show or something like that, where it's happening live and I'm seeing it. That's the only time I really respond like that to it. But other than that, I like to wait and sit back and get my own information because you never know where the information is coming from, who the main source is, like what party is it coming from. So, and that's the big deal. Like knowing your sources is a huge deal. Like if you did go to college, you had to learn about your sources, like the first, second, third sources or whatever. You got to get your sources straight, and that's super important. And that's one of the biggest things that kids have to understand is, especially on Facebook. I don't know why. I just don't understand how some of the stuff people take from Facebook and run with that shit, bro. And it be late on everything, and it's usually some propaganda shit happening. So,
well, here's the thing. Like, and I could go ahead and kind of say something about it. It's like back in the day when I was just, oh my God, I hate saying that. But pretty much back then, when I first started going to school, like I took a library class, and one of those common things they told us is pretty much how to Huh?
What was your major?
Okay, first off, it was placement and this was in college. Like it was placement classes.
Okay, I
Because
got
I
you.
scored low and it was a 3 pick and I was late in anyways, whatever. Pretty much what I was saying, I took a library class and it helped you. It's like one of those college introductory classes that help you, learn how to do research effectively. So this class pretty much like, yo, you are going to pretty much do reports. You're going to get go tell you to go to websites. So this is the how you try to validate if this is a credible website. So basically, going to the website, looking at the information, if it's got about us, pretty much getting their understanding. If they got and pretty much getting the tone, understanding the tone and stuff like that. Now, there's also websites that just pretty much take you to a website and you won't find none of that. And then pretty much you can kind of see from the tone how it could be either left or right, or pretty much it could be very opinionated. It doesn't really give you all the facts. Most of the time, if you want just straight facts, the local news is the only thing you can really run to. Mm-hmm. So when you go onto Facebook, that's where I think that what leads to all this propaganda, because it is fake news. People have, leftists, you got leftists, you got conservatives, you got all kinds of different media sources coming at, and most people don't really understand how to differentiate good news from bad news, and they're just using that information, and there's multiple websites that's that like backing it up to the point where they're getting their news from there, and to the point they're going on with the rhetoric and having this conversation. Like, honestly, that's why I really kind of feel like with when you talking to somebody who it may be a Trump supporter or who's a Biden supporter, like everybody's want to go ahead and go and talk about politics. If people go say certain things, they'll bring facts, or it's like facts is, there's so many different facts to the point where both sides feel like they're always telling the truth. So that's one thing that's like social media is just pretty much a whole ground of a false narrative, and everybody always have to have an opinion.
But there is truth in there, though. Like, even lies have truth in there from somewhere. Like, they start from somewhere.
Right.
The thing about, like, the whole voting process and Biden and Trump and all that, like, both parties are literally pretty much the same, bro. Like, if you really look at their talking points and shit, they're pretty much the same. And I really wish I didn't have to vote on either one of them or whatever, but we have to. Mm-hmm. So it's like we have to do better in the future as far as local representatives and voting on that matter, so we can build somebody up to get into that position or whatever. But as far as this election, man, everybody should go vote because it's important and we need Trump out of the office or whatever. In my opinion, I know everybody has their own opinions and stuff like that. I just can't rock with the type of person that he is and the stuff that he represents. So I feel like we all need to go vote. Do I feel like voting is super important on a major scale once it gets this high? Not really. I feel like the local is really the most important deal. But you're right about as far as like it being both sides to it, and how on social media it can get lost. Like, it can get lost in the sauce, for lack of better words. You know what I mean? So you are 100% right about that, and people need to do their background checks and their due diligence work on actually finding real sources, like I was saying earlier, and also just finding the information that they need and not just taking everybody's word for it. Because the government does lie to you on a daily freaking basis, bro. I don't care what government in the world we are talking about, they are lying to you about something. And unless you don't go do your own research on it, you are going to continue being lied to, continue being played, and continue being used as puppets out here. So you got to do your own research, and that's my biggest deal for that whole thing. But let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, my brother. This whole bullcrap going on with the LA Sheriff's Department. So I'm going to let you talk to us about that a little bit.
Well, I was going to say, you over here talking about the government, and I was like, I'm ready for these aliens, but I guess we're going to switch on to the next subject. anyways,
I'm saying, if you got something to add to it, my brother, then go ahead, my dude. And go ahead. I'm just saying, all we got is like an hour and a half. If you want to go on politics, we can go, my boy. I do this shit all day.
Social media, then these got serious as hell, talk about these politics. Mans is gonna pretty much like, hey, this is me, you know, I'm gonna tell you how it is, motherfucker. I respect that. I respect that.
I'm just saying,
say it out there, put it out on the chest.
I'm talking to the kids out there.
Like he's like that Uncle Snoop right there. Like, let me talk to you, young buck. Let me talk to you. All right.
Let me talk to you, young boy. I'm telling you how it's gonna go. All right.
The only thing he needs is just like a loose single on his bottom lip. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the next major theme, which is one of the things that's came up in the past week. And pretty much I got this information from the New York Post, and it's a lot of places on social media and also major websites are taking it. Like, I ain't gonna lie, my major one is the Shade Room, because you know I love to get my gossip.
Stop it, man! Stop it, man! God damn it, not you too, bro.
You got some news though.
I hate that shit, bro.
I'm ratchet as hell, like, bro. Don't get me wrong. I'm sophisticated. Like, yo, I'm sophisticated, but I can act
ratchet. Is that what
That's a new one, bro?
But anyways, let me go ahead and go into the details. And pretty much,
where are we going with this right now? The boy says sophisticated ratchet. All right.
So pretty much, I got the story. It's on the New York Post, and if you go into it talks more into. Okay, let's go ahead and tell you what's happening. So, LA County Sheriffs, pretty much you have the deputy, which I want to say his name is, well, I really don't care. So, anyway.
Sheriff's name?
Yeah.
The sheriff's name is Alex Villanueva.
Yeah, whatever his name is. He pretty much got on his platform and pretty much said, hey, we got X amount of dollars that we are looking for.
It was 175,000.
Yeah, 100K came from their money, and 75K came from private donors. And he pretty much came on his platform. He said, hey, he called out LeBron James of all people. He called out to LeBron James and said, LeBron, you know, he feels like, you know, he has this, he feels, you know, that he, how can I say it? He feels that the LeBron has the same empathy of trying to, you know, bridge the gap of racial inequalities and all that good stuff. So he was reaching out to LeBron, said, hey, LeBron, why don't you match it? And pretty much put him on a pedestal, especially for people who over here think very low of LeBron, because LeBron has always been very vocal about, you know, his stance, especially with Black Lives Matter, and then, you know, pretty much, police brutality, how they need to stop. He's very vocal. So the fact that this officer felt like he had to go ahead and call him out and say, hey, why don't you put in so we can find, you know, these killers and all that good stuff. And it's kind of messed up. And the reason I say it's so messed up because this is the same sheriffs that pretty much leaked when Kobe had, you know, Kobe rest in peace, when his helicopter had got down. These are the same people where their deputies were taking pictures and sharing it off of social media and sending it to these blog sites, which pretty much was shared and they had a whole widespread. So it wasn't illegal what they did, but it was in bad taste and it was so messed up. And, you know, at the same time, Vanessa Bryant, she's actually actively about to sue them. So I kind of felt like it's messed up in the sense that she has to go through this. And then also they calling out LeBron to pretty much come out and say, you know, if you feel this type of way, maybe you should come out and put some money up and help us get these people out. Because, you know, people always try to push their narrative, their their narrative, their agenda on somebody by basically, you know, putting them on blast in front of everybody to make an example of them. So I just want to kind of get y'all, talk to y'all. I know I kind of butchered the story, but if y'all follow me, how do y'all feel about this?
Well, before I let Ibhade go, I'm gonna say I'm familiar with it because, you know, I'm a diehard Kobe fan. Like, he in my top, you know what I mean, like 2 or 3 ever to play it. That's just my dog, man. Even when I hated the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe, Lakers back in the day, because they was winning all the time, I always loved and respected Kobe. So RIP to the GOAT, man, and many blessings to his family. As far as the sheriff, they asking for him to match $175,000. Which to LeBron, let's be real, it's chump change. You feel me? But it's the principle behind it. And then you got Vanessa Bryant coming out condemning, you know, the sheriff and stuff because they did leak his photos from the crash and all that. That was very personal and very private. And for a cop supposed to be professional, it's just not supposed to happen. You know, like, nobody should have seen that type of stuff before the family got a chance, you know, to deal with or at least hear about, you know, what happened and things like that. So for the family to find out like that, it's just ridiculous and absurd, especially for a man who was so much to that city like Kobe Bryant was. This sheriff, Alex Villanueva or whatever, he just out here playing peacock, bro. He just trying to get the people that do support Blue Lives Matters and all that bullshit or whatever, they just trying to get them to sympathize with the police department because the 2 police officers that got shot, one was 26-year-old and one 31-year-old, something like that, got shot. Both of them live. They're in the hospital or whatever. And so, yeah, they're trying to get a reward for the suspect and all of that thing, which I understand. I'm not saying I don't like the cops, but 2 people got shot. You know, my prayers go out to the families because that affects more than just a police department. Like, it's real life. It affects families and stuff like that. So my prayers do go out to them and hope for them to get a speedy recovery. As far as helping them find somebody, bro, ain't nobody helping you find nobody. Do you know what's going on in the news right now? Do you see what y'all doing to the people? And peaceful protests, y'all turning it violent. Like, y'all trying every which way to make the people feel like y'all are more important. Every turn, and the LA Police Department, out of all places, should not have any type of be out in the public trying to make statements about what other people should do when their department has been under like the scope for police brutality and all of that for decades, bro. Like, they are infamous, like infamous for beating people ass, bro. Like, infamous for this shit. Rodney King, a whole LA riots and shit was in LA for a reason, bro. Like, that Rodney King beating everybody down there in that age, during that time, all the documentaries you see said that shit was a regular, everyday occurrence, bro. NWA made songs about it. Ice-T and them made songs about the shit, bro. Like, it's real. And you out here trying to peacock and call out LeBron James just because I know y'all don't like him because of his stances that he takes on the police department and asking y'all to take accountability for y'all actions. Accountability is all we asking for. And now you want us to take accountability or even another black man to take accountability for somebody else that shot up your cops or employees or whatever. You want us to take accountability and help y'all bring them to justice when you won't even bring the own people in your police department to justice for all the atrocities that they've done throughout the years. Like, you won't stand up to the other cops across the nation that are doing all of this bullshit across the nation, but you want us to stand up and help you with some shit, though. Do you see how that works, though? Like, do people really see how that shit look? Like, y'all as professionals, this is your job to find criminals, bro. It is your job to protect people, and y'all failing on every single one of them. The court system, goddamn, the arrest, cop brutality, like everything. Y'all failing in every department. But you ask the people to be more professional, to act a certain way when they're being arrested, to act a certain way when they get pulled over, to act a certain way when they're in the presence of a police officer, like a person that our tax money literally pays for to be employed. And so the shit just looks stupid, bro. So Mr. Alex Villanueva or whoever you are, bro, like get this shit together, man, because it looks just stupid right now. Everybody out there knows LeBron James ain't checking for y'all. He is not finna donate, even though it's chump change to him. He not finna donate to this shit, and you know that. You peacocking to get sympathizers on your side, and it's obvious. So quit the bullshit, man. Like, it's real lives at stake. We got real situations happening in this country right now. Like, real shit's going on, and all y'all want to do is peacock and play the victim when y'all obviously, bro, in every single video, in every circumstance, y'all are like the victimized. Like, y'all are afflicting all the violence. Y'all doing this shit, bro. So don't ask us about helping y'all bring people to justice and all this shit. Do your job. Do what we pay y'all to do and stop beating our ass out here. That's all I want, bro. Like, that's it.
That's
and
it.
I don't like the cops, bro. I just do not. I got a long history with them. Like, a body probably know, like, back in the day before I graduated and all this shit, I was out here, like, living life, jail and shit like that, all that. Like, I got a history with cops. I've been, you know what I mean? Like, throwing on cop cars and all that shit, bro. Like, all of it. I've gone through the fucked up court system that gave me a felony for basically some petty ass slap on the wrist shit for anybody who would have had money when I was a kid. You feel me? Like, I was a kid dealing with this shit. For some shit that should have been a slap on the wrist, they gave me a felony that affect my life to this day. You know what I mean? Like, so for me to sympathize with the LA police department, any police department, is just crazy, bro. When I just know how fucked up this shit is, and it needs to be reformed, it needs to be changed. I'm gonna let the body go, but man, Alex Villanueva, fuck
like
that shit.
You was about to go in, I'm like, bro.
Bro.
We were both just like, yeah, chill. Yeah. Let him talk. I forgot he was even here.
Yo. I always forget that y'all two in the corporate world, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm gonna chill though, because I ain't in the world like y'all are. I ain't in that world.
Yeah, so me growing up in, I guess, in Nigeria, is a different way we act with cops than the way African Americans act with cops in America, right? And that's something we didn't understand. So when I grew up, right, we had like the media we saw, because we didn't have social media at the time, right? The media we saw was what was being portrayed to us. And believe it or not, what was portrayed to us, Black people are bad thugs, everything. That's how I grew up. And the culture back home was telling me, like, when you go to America, don't hang out with Black folks.
Really?
Like, this is real. Like, that's how it was, because they always saw the only good Black people that were portrayed to us were the typical ones they want to see, the ones that are excellent, right? Excellent in like athletic abilities, excellent music. And even in the music, they're like, look at what they're doing. Look at their music videos. They ain't showing us the good stuff. They never did. So when I came to America for college, I remember I was just like, Ibhade, you gotta have an open mind, man, because let's see what's going on. So the first thing I did was I walked into a white barbershop. I looked at the bullshit haircuts they were doing, and I was like, hell no. And I walked out. So I never got my haircut there, and I walked straight into the corner store, like the area where the homies hang out, right? Yeah. And I found the barbershop, and I just started kicking it with everybody out there. That's when I started getting into the culture and understanding. So I guess my thing of saying this is, like, we don't understand. A lot of Africans get against, not a lot, but some Africans get against like Black people because they don't understand the struggle. They really don't. We have the same skin color, but we didn't go through the same struggles you did growing up in this type of system. And a lot of them don't understand. And therefore, when the media is showing that, they're like, why did they listen? Why are they fighting? Why are they fighting for their, I mean, yeah, you have rights, but the cops have power. Mm-hmm. And Black people are trying to say, listen, they've been oppressing us for years. Yeah. And the ability to understand that takes a lot of empathy and a lot of like thinking. A lot of people are not ready to think. A lot of people are not ready for empathy. That's the problem with the divide right now. In terms of like black oppression by the cops, I mean, I've actually surprisingly, I know I look like a corporate guy all the time, but I mean sometimes sometimes I mean they look at me the same, right? Which is, and I don't mind that. I like being part of my brothers too. I remember one time I got pulled over by a cop, and as he came to my window, I saw him in the side mirror put his hand on his gun as soon as he saw my face, and I was like, okay, this guy is agitated already just based on my skin color. And I was calm about it, just like trying to make sure he calmed the situation, and nothing happened. But like just being in that situation makes you understand that I just came to the States recently. I've been pulled over 13 times.
How many?
13. But I've only been here and I've only been driving since 2013. So that's 7 years. Not that much. But compared to like my counterpart white folks, they say they've never been pulled over, they've been pulled over once. I'm like, what? I thought that was a typical thing. I thought it was like you get pulled over, you speed, you get pulled over. I didn't know it was so like a lot of people don't understand what people have been through, and it's going to be hard to get people to understand because all they see on their media page is the people that agree with them. So by the time they meet you, right, they've gone through all this like propaganda, and also we've gone through our own side of like what we know. By the time you meet, you don't even want to listen. It's hard to try to want to listen because all you've been seeing is the bad side of the other side. So it's going to be very hard for this divide to close, right? Like this, it's going to be very hard. But like we need to keep bringing the awareness, keep working on that. But like I'm just giving it from my perspective, being from a different country coming here.
Yeah,
I feel it. Look, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When you told me that you got pulled over 13 times since 2013, I'm like, God damn, like, bro, you beat me, and I've been here for life. But maybe
like that right there though is like
crazy.
But that right there is a real deal though, and especially since he's of darker skin too.
Right.
And that right there is what I got like a lot of African friends though, right? So and like Ibhade was one of my first ones like that I actually met, and like he like the shit he was on, it really kind of like inspired me though, because I was working on my undergrad and we like the same age, and he was already working on his master's or whatever. He was done with that shit and already about to graduate with his master's, and he graduated with that before I even finished my undergrad. And I was like, so I started asking him about like they schools out there in the education, and like they advanced and moved up and like all that different stuff. Right. And then like my other African friends that I would talk to from Ethiopia and Eritrea and like stuff like that, like when they came over here, like us first meeting, it wasn't as friendly at first, you know, but after we started talking and getting to know each other and learning about their religions and stuff over there, and like the stuff that they do, and over here, how we really feeling and stuff that we really go through, then they started to understand. So it's exactly how you saying, like that communication and talking with each other is what's really gonna bridge the gap though, and what needs to be done, because Africans need to understand that when they come over here, like the cops and white people see them as just other black people, other niggas, bro. Like it's harsh, but it's real though. Mm-hmm. Like y'all might be farther advanced in education and smart and super like artistic and driven and all of that stuff, which y'all are, and I love that shit, man. It's just like they really need to understand it over here. It's a different drink of water over here, man. Like they not fucking with us, bro. Like I know you want to think we lazy and all that type of shit, but listen, this system is not right for us, bro. Like it is built against us. So everything he just said, like I completely seen it. I've been there, and I understand what he talking about. And as far as him being pulled over and stuff, like when Africans get over here, they start seeing that. They start understanding, especially being darker complexion. Like my friends from Eritrea and everything like that are like light skinned, so it doesn't hit them as much, but it still hits them because they still seen as black. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you being darker complexion, but being pulled over 14, how do you drive, bro? Like, is it wild? Is it wild?
Yes. In the beginning, yes. When I first,
hey, like you
Yeah,
get
that's
pulled
a
over.
lot, even for me. I got dreads and tattoos and shit, bro. Like, that's a
Bro, I'm
lot.
gonna just say it like this. I will say something. It might be just you because I ain't gonna lie. It
Yeah.
could be just you because I ain't gonna lie. I do drive a soccer mom's car, so like I do kind of look a bit less suspicious because I kind of look like I'm about to go over
But
here.
that's weird
about
though,
to go
bro.
ahead.
That's a great point though. Like driving different cars because my girl got like a Jetta or whatever, right? And anytime I drive there, I don't even think about the cops because I know they're not tripping. It's when they see like successful black people or like people like in Benzes and shit or cars with rims or something like that, that stereotype kick in and like kick in. But if you driving in like a Jetta that's current or some shit and it's not like an old Honda, still might get you pulled over, bro. Like a 96 Honda, that might get you pulled over. But if you like in a recent Jetta or like some type of Volkswagen or something, they probably gonna let you go because they're gonna be like, oh, that's just a square or some shit like that. If you driving a Benz with no tint on that hole, oh, you getting pulled over.
Oh yeah,
You getting pulled over. That's
How to get a tent.
Yeah,
like, that's just one of the things. Like I have a tent. Like I'm like I knew that. But all right, I love the fact that y'all gave y'all opinion and y'all life stories. Now I can go ahead and say something.
Go ahead, then,
I didn't forgot what we were talking about, but you know, I kind of
forget what we were talking about. You brought up the question, bro.
I brought up the question, but we steered away from it. So like, I'm like, damn, now I kind of want to talk about this topic, but at the same time, I don't want to be like, well, guys, let's get back on topic. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Bro, it's all the same topic. We're talking about police and the fucked up shit they do. Back to the LA situation, though, with the LA sheriff to be specific. So go ahead and bring it on down.
It kind of sounds like, bro, the police fucked up. That's all you really need to start with.
And that's how I'm saying it. That's what I mean. That's it.
Bro,
that's
all right.
it.
Look, here's the thing. Okay. Like, going into this topic, like, yo, when I saw this, I got pissed. And the reason why I got pissed is because the fact that you got this deputy, you have this deputy coming out and calling out LeBron James to do that. But at the same time, publicly, Vanessa Bryant has called you out about the whole situation about how Kobe Bryant being and his daughter being out there like that because of your
sued him as well too.
Yeah, so it's just like the fact that you could call somebody out, and the fact that you haven't even addressed Vanessa Bryant publicly, it kind of just messed up. As what LeBron should do, like he probably, I know he ain't gonna say nothing. Like, yo, he's in playoff mode. He ain't thinking about it, and pretty much at the same time, he's probably like, yo, I'm not even gonna address you because the fact that
in this climate,
you can't
it ain't happening. Not in this climate.
So
no.
But no, here's the thing. I know how you feel about the police, and like it's like I know I kind of feel the same way, but at the same time, like, yo, it was gunshots, and like the fact that somebody was critically hit, and the fact that like no, I'm not saying
I
anything.
said that though. I said that.
That's what I said. I kind of feel like I do want they're define the government and all that stuff, but at the same time, like, yeah, the climate that we're in, it's just like, yo, right now, it's just like, don't be out here just doing stuff like that. And then also, you pretty much putting sticks in the fire. Like, you over here trying to provoke people on one side and just trying to.
Who provoking?
The LA officers, they over here talking about,
okay.
I'm gonna call LeBron over and try to see if he can help. Let me see if he's gonna actually do this. Oh, guys, he's not saying anything. What the hell it is?
Yeah.
So I did pull up the little quote that he had said just to go ahead and put this in perspective. When they all asked all dude Villanelle or whatever, this is a challenge. Vanilla wafer. Yeah. The challenge is LeBron James. I want you to match and double that reward. I know you care about law enforcement. You expressed a very interesting statement about your perspective on race relations and officer-involved shootings and the impact on the African American community. And I appreciate that, he continued. But likewise, we need to appreciate that the respect for life goes across all professions. Bro, like I said, I agree with you saying, but at the same time, you over here doing this out of malice. Like you over here really trying to start something. And like, bro, like the 175 is a good enough offer. Like why somebody gotta put up extra? Like, and at the same time,
bro, I know somebody gonna snitch for 175,000, bro.
Bro, at the same time, you know some people snitch for a meal like McDonald's. They got the Travis Scott. You know somebody gonna go and snitch for that. But at the same time, don't mess with the Travis Scott. I heard somebody that it messes up your stomach. I don't know how true that is.
You tried it?
No, I haven't tried it. I just want to check on y'all because like bowel movements, I don't want y'all to have too much activities. But anyway. But at the same time, going back into this, it's just all bullshit. And I'm like, yo, I am sympathize. It's like, I just think like what he's doing is just pretty much like, it's not in the right mind. It's just pretty much, I feel like it's an agenda. At the same time, like I do want to go ahead and find these shooters, go ahead and put them, get their justice. But at the same time, you know, the climate and you know what you're doing, it just doesn't sound right. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, man. I'm like, I don't want nobody getting shot, bro. Like, I'm not going to sit here and speak like, I don't like the cops. That's true. But I got friends and family that are cops. I respect the profession.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I truly do respect the profession. Like, I know it's a dangerous job. I understand that. But y'all are professionals are supposed to be. I just want y'all to act like it. That's it. I want y'all to not act like it's our responsibility as civilians to know exactly what to do in certain situations. That is your job, to de-escalate situations. What taxpayers pay y'all to do, what I pay y'all to do, even though that y'all gave me a felony and I can't vote, like I still pay y'all, I still pay taxes yearly, bro. You feel me? Like I still gotta pay taxes. So I just want y'all to protect us. That's it. As far as finding justice for them and stuff, yeah. But y'all cops, that's your job, bro. Like literally, is to find like not bad people, but just criminals or whatever, and bring them to justice. And you want us to put up LeBron to put up extra money? I just don't understand it. But I'm not really tripping on that. I hope they do get justice or whatever, because they might be good cops, the ones that got shot. They might have just been doing their job or trying to get out and get home to their families. Like, I understand all that. So I want them to get justice, man. But as far as calling out LeBron, especially when, like you said, he in playoff mode, he not thinking about that, especially when Vanessa Bryant got a beef with you. Like, that's Vanessa Bryant, bro. You think LeBron is going to put up money against Vanessa Bryant, bro? Like, that's he playing for a team that Kobe is idolized on, bro. Like, fans idolize this dude. It's no way it's happening. So that's why I said he was just peacocking, like, because he know it's not going to happen. So I'm not even on that shit. But we're going to go ahead and move to the next topic, man. Get into the next topic. It's the real talk of the day. While we brought my brother Body on, we're going to talk about what's happening on his continent, or his home continent of Africa. And what country are you from?
Nigeria.
Nigeria, right. I just want to double check that.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'm so horrible when it comes to countries and other places when it's overseas. It's like, you know, I'm just like, he said Nigeria. I thought that was like, you know, I thought Africa was a country.
Don't say nothing crazy, bro. Stop, man. Get off the line. Get off the line for even saying that.
Like, I know Africa's a continent, but sometimes
I know you're too educated for this, bro. Don't do this.
Look, I'm gonna be a real one about it. I'm gonna be a real one. Like, I forget sometimes, because, you know, United States, I know that's because we call that, you know, a country, even though, like, you know, North America is the continent, and we used to say United States of America, that's the country. So I think, you know, all these people out here. But anyway,
the United States of America, though.
So
that's why the country.
I know, but thing is, I be thinking, I get those sometimes mixed up with the continent because you know you be thinking of 1 and 2 and all that because you know North America and South America is 2 separate. So think about North America as a continent, but that's also a country.
What?
And when you talk about Africa, that's actually a continent, but Nigeria, that's inside of Africa, is a country. So you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. Bro, go ahead, Salt. What you gotta say?
Yeah, bro. You were starting to sound real suspect right there. I don't know what was happening, bro. I don't know what was happening.
You know what? You know, I'm just keep my mouth closed.
Nah, bro. But so it's been a lot of things going on. As far as well, especially like in Ghana and stuff like that, they've been having like last year in 2019, right? So they had a movement initiated by Ghana, right? So it was like 400 years after the first Africans were brought in chains to Jamestown, Virginia last year, right? So last year was 400 years, and Ghana had this thing where they gave 125 people from the U.S. citizenship in Ghana, you know, like to move back there. And then you got like Ludacris, who moved to Africa. He is Gabonese. I'm sorry, I was about to say Ghananese or whatever. But yeah, he just moved back there. And then you also have Samuel Jackson. He also moved there too after he did his ancestry thing or whatever. He traced his roots back to the Bantu tribe. And so yeah, but you got that movement. So where you got people
going back
that are moving back to Africa and doing that, and then you have actual artists and African celebrities who are actually pushing for that, like for blacks across the world, not just America and South America and the Caribbean and all that, to move back to Africa and like escape what's going on here. So one of the main reasons I want to bring my brother Body on is because him being from Nigeria, from the continent of Africa, he has, you know, a personal touch on the whole matter. You know, he's lived in both places. He understands what's happening over there and over here. And he is very, you know, smart, all that, super educated, like I was saying earlier, way more advanced than me when it comes to brain. So I want to get his opinion on this whole thing. How do like people really feel about, you know, Americans or South Americans or Caribbeans moving back to Africa and all that? Like, what is the thought process for an African who's actually living over there to, you know, have this influx of people coming over there?
So, like I said, I know, like, I guess the topic, I kind of went off topic on talking about the culture of how we grew up. Some people still have that mentality that the people coming back are not good, and they don't understand that, right? So because the culture is, they're not the same, right? They can mix, but they're not the same. So because of that, some people may not understand. They're like, why are you leaving such a great country when our continent is not doing well, right? Our continent right now, especially, I can talk about Nigeria a lot because I grew up there. And as much money as there is there due to oil, a lot of people don't see that money. So the country is doing very bad. And so when we hear of Americans leaving, or, you know, Caribbeans leaving to come stay with us, we don't understand it, because from our perspective, you're coming from a place that is developed to a place that's undeveloped. But on the flip side, they don't understand that in our country, we are number one, right? Like where we are, I didn't see, like, where I grew up, I was there for how many years? 16 years. While I was there, I only saw maybe 10 white people my whole time there. And I've been around the country. So it's 99% black people. So in our country, we're number one. We're like the people, right? So we don't, I mean, if anybody's being oppressed, there may be some tribal stuff, or like, you know, the elitist, you know, rich people, poor people type stuff, the typical stuff you see in a society. But on the flip side here, a lot of people are getting, you know, discriminated against just based on race. We don't understand that. So there's a dichotomy of people trying to come in and trying to say, listen, we're coming here because Americans are coming here because they understand that we can be our own people. We need to go back to our roots, be our own people, and build our things. But and some Africans understand the enlightened ones, but not everybody is enlightened to what's going on. So that's the problem. That's where there's gonna be a issue when people come in. But I'm hoping that thinking slowly erodes so that we can all come back together. You know, it'd be cool.
Bro, when you said a whole area where like you could go around and like you're a part of the majority and nobody like over here discriminate you and like nobody looking at you different, I was like, yo, it's so crazy because that sounds like a dream. Like it sounds like a dream that you would love to have, and just walk down the street and not be looked at different from the color of your skin, because you're pretty much part of the majority. And like, yeah, people go ahead and talk about you or get into you about your social class. That's another whole story, but it's just the fact that like, yo, people over here, pretty much getting on everybody but the color of their skin. And that's just one of the things that it's hard to like even just come up, because like, honestly, I feel like, going over there, the playing field, it'll just be so even to the point where like, that everybody will, measure my character through my merit, or pretty much how good of a person I am and all that stuff. So just hearing you talk about that, it just like, it kind of just makes you even more like welcome and like just want to go ahead and just go ahead and jump into that. And honestly, I didn't know that everybody was going over like Samuel L. Jackson. Just, I do need a motherfucker here and there. So like my man over there, I gotta go there and check it out.
Right.
Now, like I've been planning on buying property in like Africa for a minute. I want to do the ancestry test too, but I just don't trust it. I don't really.
You don't want to give your DNA to them people. I get it.
I don't want to do that, and I also don't trust that they really telling me like where I'm really from, like where my ancestors.
Don't use the ancestry. They said there's an actual Black-owned one where they go back.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying I'm gonna use ancestry.com or whatever. I'm just saying like I want to do an ancestry test or whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and use the Black-owned or whatever, like to get closer to the truth.
Hey, he's European.
Yeah. So like I probably got some European in there somewhere though, but I'm like, I want to know what's it like. You're from Nigeria, right? And I know in Nigeria, it's like some very thriving cities or whatever. They're like actually cities, So I want to know what it the feel like over there compared to America. And I also know that you said that there, it's some places that aren't doing too good, and stuff like that. But an influx of American people and South American people and Caribbean people with money, influx of that could stimulate the economy and stuff like that. So what do you African people feel about that, or if you think it'd be a benefit with other Black people moving there from across the world, even in Europe,
Europe, yeah. So I think the first thing, Nigerians especially need to like their own country, because I mean, I'm here too, right? Technically, and I'm working here, trying to do a lot of stuff here, but I need to get that mentality, which is what I'm thinking in the future, to go back home, right? Because that's where we're from. A lot of people that come here from Africa are trying to escape whatever they feel is bad in the country, which is a lot of corruption. We have a lot of political corruption. You'll see politicians that are rich, seriously, like that. There's a guy, his name is Dangote. He was worth 30 billion, richest Black man, period. And
he's worth 30 billion?
30 billion. And people don't even know who he is. Like, Americans don't even know who that guy is. That's the richest Black man in the world. That guy is he's doing a lot of monopoly through corruption and stuff.
What's his name again?
Dangote. So Dangote. I'm sure his net worth has dropped due to like oil and cement. But like that kind of stuff threw a lot of people the wrong way, because corruption, no matter how much you try. So for example, in America, this is why we come to America, right? For in America, even due to the oppression, if you try something and your social media, for example, your social media picks it up, like your business thrives, sometimes you have the opportunity to grow. In Nigeria, there's a little bit of corruption where, for example, there was a certain amount of people that wanted to build a company that deals with cement, to create blocks for buildings. And this guy owns the biggest cement factory probably in Africa, but like let's say Nigeria for sure. These people had like a new technology to do a better cement. And he just went to them and said, listen, I can make your life a living hell if you don't join me, like sell your technology to me. Because like if you want to use it, I will stifle every supply you get into this country and I'll stifle your demand. And they had to sell their whole technology to him. So because of that, basically what I'm trying to say is like there's a lot of corruption that we need to fight. And even with Americans coming in with good money is good. But there's still a lot of things that we have to deal with, not just with the bad politicians, but like with American money as well. So I just feel like there's a lot of problems at that continent, and part of it is also there's also a big mentality that white power is better. It still is there. So whenever Shell comes in, for example, they can bring. I know of a guy. Shell is like like an big oil company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they bring their expert trades, they pay them like a whole boatload of money, like maybe triple the money for a local. A local can do that job, but they pay them 3 times the money. There was a man, for example, who has a journalist degree, nothing wrong with it, but he's leading an engineering department. Only reason he's doing that is because he's white and all the Nigerians are okay with. For some reason, they're not okay with it, but they just let it go. You see what I'm saying? So there's this mentality of dependence too. We still have it. We have that problem. So I know you guys see it. For us, it's covert. You guys see it every day. You see it every day. Yeah. We see it based on the way the money flows. So like we still have that problem where we don't even see black power is strong. And we need to fight that first and then let everybody kind of like help build the country. So we have corruption and then the white power on us too.
I would have never guessed that y'all would have that problem over there. You know what I mean? Like, especially being like it's Nigeria, right? Like that's what you think of like the manliest black on the planet right there.
Yeah. Like, man, it's just so much stuff going around here to the point where it could be all over the news over there, and we would never hear it because pretty much just so much stuff that's going over here that it just like takes up more of the airways. Because like honestly, like I'm dead ass. Like probably when we get off today, like tomorrow, we'll probably find a new topic to talk about. So that's why I'm like, there's something always happening in the United States.
Yeah, it's something always happening. I'm kind of like, the reason I wanted to bring Ibhade on and talk about this type of stuff, because I'm like dead ass, I'm going to buy property in Africa. Like, I'm just trying to choose which, country to actually do it in. And I would like to take that ancestry test or whatever and try to find out. But I'm serious about it. Like, it's going to happen because I want my future kids to have roots somewhere other than America. I just don't trust this place, man. Like, I don't at all. I've had too many negative experiences around here. And it's just, I don't know. If I can do something to make the place better in Africa, on that continent, then I'll prefer to do that and put my money into that economy or try and find things like that. Right. But like in America as well, like there are neighborhoods and communities that I want to help build too, but I just want a property over there. So what, I know you heard about the stuff that Akon has going on in Senegal, so he's building his own city and stuff, and he brought lights to, millions of people in over there and everything, stuff like that. Since you are an engineer, like what is it like real though? Like his city and everything that he's building?
So from what I've read, at least from what he's saying, he has the positives, right? So he has credibility of actually trying to help Africans, right? He's good light stuff. And he did get land, like the president of Senegal gave him a bunch of land to build this Wakanda type city. In theory, that sounds great, right? Like we're gonna have this city that's thriving. So the not issues, but stuff that could derail it. First of all, I don't understand. I don't know the Senegal politics, but I'm gonna use Nigerian politics just to see how it works. They're gonna want a piece of the pie, period, and they always stack this stuff. So like, if you say something is 3 billion, like he raised, first of all, he raised 6 billion, and he's
Yeah,
from
6 billion. Yeah.
so I don't know what these investors are and what they want, right? Like investors don't just put money in for something without like getting something back. So that's something to be skeptical of, not on him. I'm not saying that he's doing the wrong thing. I'm just saying you don't know what these investors want, right? I mean, we've been through that, like mortgages
Yeah.
and loans and all that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is he wants the whole city to be run by cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the money, a coin. It's kind of cool.
Acorn. Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Acorn. It's called Acorn. Yeah, wow. Wow, bro.
the the issue with cryptocurrency, well, not the issue, but like the first thing you need to understand, like you have to build that on a blockchain. And what a blockchain is like a big ledger. So to explain it in simple terms, like whenever you put like your money in a bank, there is a simple place where they can hack and get your money. That's the bank. The beauty of a blockchain is that ledger is shared on everybody on the blockchain. So if you hack somebody's phone, you can't get the whole network because it's connected to everybody on the blockchain. That's the beauty of crypto. So it's very secure. Yeah, that's how a blockchain works. And that's why people like cryptocurrency, right? But the issue is, where are you going to build that technology? People in Senegal don't have smartphones like we do. Like it's not as prominent as it is in America, where there's a lot.
It's no smartphones in Senegal at all?
No, there is, but like not that many
Oh.
people have it, right? Because there's a lot of poor people too. They
Okay.
can just basically live. So like it depends on who you're trying to bring into the city. Are you trying to bring like people who need it, like the actual poor people, so they can act like poor people and people who need like disenfranchised people, so they can actually feel empowered? If that's the case, you need more investments in like getting them the technology to be able to handle handle that situation. So that's a lot of things that I'm sure they're thinking about it, but it's skeptical right now. I'm just like, there's a lot to go with it, right? It's great.
Wow. Like, yeah, that's what I was trying to see, because I hear he has like a lot of Asian investors, and I hear that Asians, I mean, like China especially, to be more specific, is buying up a lot of land in Africa. So what do y'all feel about that?
I feel like this is. Oh man, let me know. I'm corporate too, so let me be careful now.
Monopoly.
I was about to say, this is about to be. I think this is about to be. This is, when the Europeans came back in the day, that was like obvious colonialism, right? Like they came, they were coming. This one, I feel, is like covert, bro. Like they're buying stuff, and very soon they're gonna be like, "This is our land, get the hell out." Or not, maybe it won't happen soon, but like they could. I mean, if they own the land, what do we have the rights to it, even though it's the place we were born in? So it's something that, and the reason why this is happening is because people are getting money. People just want money, greed, right? So they're like, "I'll sell you my land, give me 10 million or 50 million." So yeah, you see, that's why I was like, these unnamed investors, man. Why are they unnamed? Think about it. Why are you unnamed, right? Like, if you really cared about what he was doing, you put your name behind it. Like when Facebook got created, killer, these people, I can't remember his name, that the guy from PayPal put his money on it, put his name on it, because it was like, I'm about this mission. They ain't putting their name behind this. And it's not that they don't believe in what he's doing. They want to own something from it.
Yeah.
So I'm scared for him for that.
That is my whole deal, though. It's like people, it's the investors in the whole deal. Like, they're being mostly like Asian and Chinese, to be specific, and China has been buying up a lot of land, not just in Africa, but in the Caribbean, in Jamaica and stuff like that. They help building highways and all that stuff. And it looks good on the outside, like that they are actually doing that. And they say, like in China, they have like good videos and commercials of Africa, like showing on the TVs. Like, I don't know if they're trying to get people to maybe move there or what, but it feels like they're trying to buy up land in different places so they could some type of way colonize it. And that's just what I feel. So it scares me when everybody keeps saying, I keep hearing China everywhere, bro. Like in Jamaica, all through the Caribbean, in Africa, like they say Gaddafi was killed because he was trying to get a centralized bank for the continent of Africa. So like, and that would have made that bank in Africa the richest continent like on the planet because all the resources are in it. Everybody knows all the resources are in Africa in abundance. You feel me? And that's why everybody's always trying to colonize it and stake their flags down and do all of that type of deal. So it scares me by hearing China so much behind his project. And that's why I want to ask somebody about it who is kind of, like at least familiar with it and from that continent, because it scares me, bro. Like,
I feel you, man.
I want it to be good. I want it to be dope because Akon, I respect what he's been doing, bringing lights to the people and doing all that type of stuff. But if he's just in it for the money, really, and of course he is for the money and the type of way because it's investment and it's real estate and it's all of that. So of course he's in it for some type of financial gain. But also I'm just hoping like his heart's in the right place and he's not giving land or opportunity to these other countries when he could be finding people within the continent of Africa to do those same business with. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I feel like he's doing it for the right things. It's just the fact that the people that he's associating with
but that's a bigger deal though.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing. But here's the thing, that's the only people who got the money. So it's like, yo, if you're in that position, it's like, no, the money that he's looking for. So if you're in that position, it's like, yo, I have to get in bed with these people and just play the game, and pretty much hopefully they won't go to the point where they over here, fuck. That's what I was like. That's the whole thing, because just what he's trying to do, like I commend him. Like he's doing like things that a lot of people have never that has not done. But at the same time, at that magnitude, I know it's all going to come at cost, because like for everything that you're trying to do good, there's always going to be some bad. We just don't see it. And this is pretty much it. It's just like, we magnified the fact that he's building this whole city that could be the next freaking Wakanda, but at the same time, at what cost? Like what it's doing, like who he has people, who has investors in, what they're doing, and all that stuff. So, and like you said, it is scary. It is scary that there's they're almost everywhere you go, but it's one of those things where it's just like it sucks, because of the fact that most people already want to go to the point where they'll have to they can be self-sufficient, but at the same time they need to start somewhere. So hopefully it gets to the point where they don't put too much in the investment, where they go ahead and monopolize on this. That's why I said this is like monopoly. Is the fact that they're coming into the property, putting in on their stakes, and they putting it everywhere, and then that's pretty much you're gonna have invested investment land in everywhere they go.
Yeah, like that's my whole deal though, is I understand that to get $6 billion, you got to talk to some different people, bro. You know what I mean? Like to raise $6 billion to build a city, you got to talk to some different people. You're going to have to talk to some different countries, to be more specific. And China just happened to be one of them because they have the money, they have technology. If he's trying to build the next Wakanda, like Africa has the resources, but China has the technology to use those resources to build that next Wakanda or whatever, right? So, but yeah, I just want us to build our own shit, bro. One of the whole reasons I want to move to Africa, or like at least buy property there, is because I just want like our shit. For too long, we've been letting other people take off our shit, whether it's our culture, whether it's our land, whether it's our whatever. Other communities and other countries have been feeding and feasting off of our shit. And I just want this Akon deal or whatever city he's building to really be about the right deal. And I'm really hoping it's about the right shit. So whether it's him talking to China, if he has to bite that bullet for the big picture, but in his head, he's thinking in the long game, like, yeah, I'm fucking with y'all now, but we gonna get off of y'all eventually or whatever, and we gonna have our own deal, then cool. I understand business and I understand the big picture. I understand that you have to deal with certain people sometimes that you don't want to in business world to get things done, to make things happen, to make the right moves that you need to make. But you got to have the right intentions at heart. Like you have to go into that knowing that this is only temporary. This is just going to be a stepping stone to get to where we need to be as a people, as a country. And that's what I want to get to. The whole reason I want to make money, the whole reason I want to do all this is to like get my people in the right positions to make the best move. I don't care about being a billionaire, bro. Like I don't care about none of it. But I'm gonna do what I can to get this money because I know money is power. I know power is gonna move things and make things shake. And I know in order to get my people to where they need to be, we gotta have money, bro. Because money talk, and whether it's politics, whether it's business, whether it's whatever, I don't care what it is. Money talk. And if you bringing a check to a politician, he gonna sign a bill for you. If you bringing a check to a businessman, he gonna do whatever and move mountains just to make you happy and accommodated. And that's what we got to do is get them checked. So I understand what Akon's doing. I just hope his heart is in the right place. Like I truly hope his heart is in the right place when he's making the decision for the people in Senegal and just the continent of Africa. Like he wants to build the next Wakanda or a real life Wakanda. You know what I mean? And so if that is real, if he really wants to do that, to use those resources in the right way, then I'm 100% with him, bro. But I just hope, because we've been duped by too many. Black people have been duped by black people more than white people, bro. Like, yeah, white people. Huh?
That's where I was actually going now, because I was like, if you think about it now, let's like if you didn't go for Chinese money, right, which is like readily available because they have more, readily available liquid cash or whatever to invest. What could we have done that I would have preferred for it to be viable? First of all, you don't have to build a new city. Take a city that exists and try and transform that so that you're not doing from ground up. So it's easier to manage. That's the first thing. And then second thing is, the issue is there's a lot of money in the Black community. We just don't know how to consolidate it. Not we don't know how to. We do. We just don't.
Yes.
Right? We have black banks, so that we're not putting our money in black bank. I just recently found out there's one black bank in the whole of Baton Rouge. I just started moving my money there slowly because you want to have endowments so that when the community is looking for actually good mortgages, they can get it. Right. So that'll be something that could help him get maybe not a loan, but like an investment from a coalition of black banks in the country, and then bring it back there. And then, so those are some of the things that may have made me more comfortable. Not because I know he's trying to do the right thing, but this is a very ambitious goal in a place that is very volatile, with very volatile money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Very volatile technology. I mean, ambitious goals are good, but I know what you're.
But it's also dangerous. Ambition is very dangerous because once you get in certain rooms, you can be influenced by people, and you can be influenced by ideas and stuff like that. So I love Akon's ambition in building a city. Like, who wouldn't want their own city, bro? Who wouldn't want their own currency? But your heart gotta remain in the right place to do right for your people. And your people is the number one thing. Like you were saying earlier, there are problems on the continent of Africa with corruption and with all this type of stuff. And the world knows this. That's the only reason Africa ain't on top of everything, bro. Like, it could literally be with a centralized bank and all of that, it could be on top of the world, bro. Like, literally running this shit with the technology and resources that they have at their fingertips.
And the expertise.
If people had the right intentions, and wasn't so corrupt out here. You feel me? And that's all I'm trying to get to, man. That's all I want. I want our people to work in unison to understand that we could dominate this whole shit. And not even in a negative way, man. I'm not talking about being better than one people or being like the most dominant or black people are better or none of that. I'm talking about on an even playing field. We are just as smart, just as dedicated, just as hardworking as anybody on the planet. We have the technology, we have the resources, we have everything we need to be at the top of the totem pole, but yet we still have people pushing us back, and it's usually individuals. It's always individuals who are greedy and money hungry and about they self, only see they self in this shit that keeps on setting us back, man. And that shit makes me sad, and it's fucking it's just ridiculous, man. Like we passed that. If we come together, the people we can dominate, just like in thousands of years ago when we was on there with the real Mansa. You know what I mean? With the motherfucking like the real Mansa. So like when the richest man ever walked this earth in that country, and like all that. It's in Africa. It's there. It's right there. All we got to have is the right people with the right motivations, the right resources, and the right means, and we can get this shit happen. We can get our whole people, our whole diaspora on the right path, man. And that's all I want. That is the only thing I want, man. I just want to look at my brothers and my sisters out here and have us all be on the playing field where we proud to hold our heads high in every walk of life, man. I don't care if you are executive, if you in the middle class or you on the bottom class, you know that you got opportunity in this world to be everything that you want to be, and our children do too. And until we get to that point, man, I'm not resting. I'm going to keep on talking this shit, man. I'm going to keep on doing what we do. Akon, I hope you really out here about your people, my brother, man, because I want to come over there and see that beautiful city, man. But I just want that money to be going to the people and doing the things that it needs to be doing to make the economy grow, make the continent shape, and make people want to come there and spend their money as well, man. So that's the only thing I'm on right now, man. That's it.
You always got to end it so inspirational. Like, man,
what you talking about, bro? What you talking about?
Is, and that's all I want. I just want to see my people grow, man. But,
hey, Ronnie, is great today.
Bro. Doing this show with them is funny because at the same time, I be feeling so inspired. Nigga, I be man, after this show, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna push a damn car because of your ass, just with that motivation shit. He be saying that shit. No, I'm like, bro, you gotta crash this nigga. Like he does this. I love it though because it be like, yo, I just want to do this. And like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, he gonna fuck around. I'm gonna end up crying after this one of these episodes.
Oh man, don't start crying. I don't do that, bro. I ain't trying to do nothing but inspire my people to be great because we are great, my boy.
See, that's why I said great. That's that shit I'm telling you. I just want my people to be great, bro. I just love you, man. I'm like, fuck, man. Damn, okay.
Man, I'm just thinking that real shit, man. But yeah, man, we have talked about a few things and everything, and I hope people learned something from this today. I hope they enjoyed it, the discussion, and you know, the talking and the debating, the back and forth. But we've been going for over an hour now. You know, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap this podcast up, my brother. Is there any last remarks you want to make, Ronnie over there, man?
Hey, I'm just trying to make the last remarks after you, bro. Just go ahead, just talk your shit. But nah, you know, everybody, thank you for tuning in for another episode. You know, like I said, every time that we are here because of you. And honestly, if it wasn't for you, we would not be here. So thank you for tuning in weekly and listening to us and pretty much you know, put it on my brain, not my heart, because I always try to speak from facts and my opinions. I'm just trying to be man over here. I'm over here trying to say some real deep shit. Like I'm just trying to, you know, sound like him, but you know, I'm out here. I got walk on. I got to crawl.
My brother, I need you to sound like yourself. I need you to
I need to crawl. I need to crawl before I can walk. Let me stop.
I don't know, but folks out there, everybody, I appreciate y'all again for joining us. This is Raw Brilliance. Ibhade, I appreciate you, my brother. I thank you for coming on and spreading your knowledge, man, and showing us love by being here, you know. So, but yeah, everybody out there, y'all know there's social media accounts. It's going to be on the bottom, as always. Ibhade, is there anywhere you want folks to reach you if they're trying to reach out for anything?
Yeah, they can. I don't have a Twitter per se, but they can reach out to me on Instagram. I guess DM me. I don't really get that much DMs anyway, so it'll be kind of cool. So
they dry, hit them up.
They dry.
If you want to go ahead and try out this couch, this bed, come on, liquefy them DMs.
It's right there, right? Yeah. My Instagram is Ibhade, so it's EBAD_DAY. So it's kind of like the way my name is pronounced. I kind of just put a ring to it. So EBAD_DAY. That's my Instagram. Anybody can reach out to me. I really appreciate you guys, Jeremy and Ronnie, man. So it's cool. You guys know your shit. Kept me on my toes, so that was awesome. And I learned some stuff too. I always like learning from different people.
Hey, for sure.
Hey, I
And
just
that boy
love
called me
that.
Jeremy, boy, by my government name. You know we go back, goddamn. That boy called me by the government name, son.
He
But
put that government out there. It's like, hey, if y'all looking for him,
chill out, bro. I ain't got no more warrants. I ain't running from the cops no more and none of that. I'm here. I'm educated now. I did the college thing. I'm good now. My bad days are over, bro. I'm out here trying to be great, my boy. I'm trying to be great. Damn. But hey, everybody, thank y'all again for joining us, man. This is Raw Brilliance. Social media is going to be on the bottom right here, and it's also going to be in the comments. I mean, in that little part on YouTube and shit where you see all the information there. It'll be on there. But yeah, my boy Ronnie, I am Messenger J. My boy Body, thank you. And we out this thing, man.